Hello, this is Teacher Ronald and I want to welcome you to this other segment of the analysis of Devil on the Cross character. Story that we are still continuing with until we finish all the characters. Incidentally, this is actually our last segment of character and characterization as a topic. We are still continuing with Devil on the Cross, and after Devil on the Cross we shall be looking at any other novel that our viewers may prefer. To encourage all the viewers that are new to this platform, those that have been watching but have not subscribed, please don't miss any video. When you subscribe, it means that every time there is a new video, you will get a notification that will be directing you to that new video, meaning that you won't miss any of them. Today we're going to look at another segment of character. We have looked at a number of them, but I want to encourage first of all the learners that are just new to these videos. If this is your first video to watch, please ensure that you go back and look for the following videos. The first video, if you are senior 5, you should first watch Introduction to A-Level Literature, Paper 3, and Devil on the Cross as a novel. This video combines the Introduction to A-Level Literature and also Introduction to Devil on the Cross. After that, you can now go on and look at this other video analysis of the videos are in series. So if you watch the last one before the first one, it will be very hard for you to understand the book. For senior 6 students or people that you can just begin with the analysis of the title Devil. That it is important for you to first watch character and the character. And after that, we have another series of character and characterization, now looking at Wangari, Gaturi, and other characters. From there, we had another one, which is character and characterization, now looking at Muturi and other. This one is going to look at these other characters: KIHAHU wa Kathinkha, Tikkawa, the police, the 7 foreign delegates, and the savior figure. The very important thing here that you have to understand is that the savior figure is one of those figures that we may not want to look at in the book, but they are not minor. The savior figure actually is that figure that always comes to help Waringa every time she is in trouble. So it is important to look at that savior figure. Then the foreign delegates, it is also very important to look at them. Why do they have to come to Kenya? And then why do they dress like that? Why do they behave in that way? Then the police, if you want to look at particularly the Afande who comes to arrest the thieves in the cave and instead arrests Wangari, it is very important for you to look at this video and watch it keenly. So please, I want to encourage you to just stay tuned as we enter this lesson. Okay, we are going to continue and look at another character in Devil on the Cross, and that's going to be a character of the same type like Gitutu wa Katanguru. By this time round, we're going to look at KIHAHU wa Kathinkha. This is actually the second to testify in the cave. He comes as a very selfish individual. In KIHAHU is revealed the individualism or selfishness of the local bourgeoisies. When we talk about local, we're talking about the bourgeoisies, the rich people, the exploiters that are within Kenya and they are Kenyans. He makes his fortune largely from breaking ranks and exploiting members of his own class. His activities are largely predatory, or they are based on predators and carnivorous, qualities that are actually hinted at by his name. Let us look at what his name means. Okay, analyzing critically the name KIHAHU wa Kathinkha, we need to look at it in detail. KIHAHU means the one who scares, and then Kathinkha means the one who pierces. So you scare and then you pierce. That is what the name Gitutu wa Kathinkha means. Of course, it is in Kikuyu, but you have to turn it into English to know, and this will help the learners so much. So KIHAHU might be derived from the Kikuyu name for the king stock. A kingstock is a bird with a very long mouth. A connection that Ngugi and then the omniscient narrator try to compare his mouth to that bird, or the beak of that bird. For example, this is what the novel says. His mouth was shaped like the beak of the kingstock, long, thin, and sharp. That's what is also described here. The one who pierces, that is the Kathika. Okay. KIHAHU's individualism or selfishness, since as Kikuyu proverb states, a bird that has a beak does not pick up grains for another, is very much a sharp explanation of what he is. One, he has a beak, so he picks anything that he wants, and the beak is sharp. That is just like that one of a kingstock. And then he also scares. So in one way or the other, you know such a person is not going to be easy if he's in your community. Okay. We can also see that this gentleman is also pro-neocolonialism. In one way or the other, you have to look at that. He's actually in full support of what is taking place in the cave. He's a man who refuses to take sides with the liberation struggle. KIHAHU urges that the active support of neocolonialism should actually be taken by them, people who are in Kenya. He is proud about his children also speaking English and speaking it through the nose. And that's what he says. As for my children, all of them speak English through the nose, exactly like white, very braggart of what English has done to the people of Kenya. So he's actually in the guard of neo-colonialism. Okay. So shall continue and say this gentleman is also very cunning. The wealth that KIHAHU has amassed is actually all coming because of his cunning. He has done a number of jobs, teaching, politics, building schools, and others. But in all this, he exhibits a lot of cunning. He would want to have nests for people to live on. But even before suggesting this idea, his cunning techniques have taken a level of even exploiting his fellow classmate. And that's why the Wabwire and others are furious that he has come in to exploit even his own classmates. Okay? So, his suggestion is also very ironical. He wants people to sleep in nests and they will always be folding them in the morning. He also proposes the materials like the grass that will build these nests should be coming from America, Europe, and other countries outside Kenya or outside Africa. And this one explains his cunning nature and also his pro-neocolonialismness, if we can term it like that. Okay, the other character to look at is actually Tikkawa. These are the characters that are having hard names, but still, since you're doing literature, you have to accept these are the names that you have to go with. So, Tikkawa is a name that means one who carries heavy burdens and one who falls. Maybe these pictures could illustrate clearly what this man is. If this car was Tikkawa, what he's carrying is actually burdening. And then if this was Tikkawa, you see that he's actually carrying a lot of things. So, whereas KIHAHU's pro-colonial sympathies may be a matter of conjuncture, NDITIKA Wanguji's are more explicit. They are more explained. They are clearer. He was a home guard during the emergency. NDITIKA promises the freedom fighters that were near him that he had his back, them, that he could support them. Okay, and the whole of the people that he was interacting with, he promised that he could continue loading it over them, meaning that he could always make sure he carries more burdens on the people that were fighting for freedom in Kenya. So in one or the other, he's actually very pretentious. He could talk to these people as if he's on their side, but then talk to the bosses that he's going to do a lot of things to make sure that people who are fighting against imperialists are worked upon. So NDITIKA, the name which refers to one who carries heavy burdens, just like we have observed here, and Aguji refers to one who falls. When they are combined, the two names point to an essentially important aspect of indiscriminate character, who carries anything and everything, one who selfishly keeps to himself anything he acquires. NDITIKA reveals this grasping, indiscriminating nature in his business concerns and his implied eating habits. In the novel Devil on the Cross, we are shown that the physical ugliness of NDITIKA Wanguji is a defining character of the pro-colonial type due to material well-being. NDITIKA's immense size particularly emphasizes his inquisitive nature and implies a tasteless, avid eater. Everything that comes by, he has to eat. Okay, his business concerns are also indiscriminately spread over about hoarding, smuggling, poaching, and export and import. Seven of the people that contest in the cave, you see that his are more indiscriminate, and they show a lot about neocolonialism and other poor qualities of Kenyan national. That is about NDITIKA Wanguji. However, when you look at all the other characters, especially that are competing in the cave for the crown of who is the best thief and a robber, all of them, all these characters would be sharing the traits of exploitation, pro-neocolonialism, human, and others. Let us look at Kimenderi. This is another very interesting character we have to look at. This man, we're told, okay, first of all, the name means the one who smashes or the one who grinds. So maybe that's why we shall look at him as being merciless and heartless. In the background, we know that he had been a district officer or a DO during the colonial times. Kimenderi was an active and a brutal enforcer of colonial laws. No wonder he's here, and we anticipate he's the one to win the competition. This would really tell a lot about his violence that he commits, especially against the Kenyans. Now, the narrator provides the key to Kimenderi's character as being merciless or heartless. When he tells us that Kimenderi was given the name during the emergency because of the way he used to grind workers. Actually, he calls this grinding workers. This is the statement from the novel, and this is how it goes. Because of the way he used to grind workers and peasants to death. As a DO, we are told he used to make men and women lie flat on the ground in a row, and then he would drive his Land Rover over their bodies. This is what we can call a kind of mercilessness and heartlessness. Okay, so if an African also goes on to do these very things to fellow Kenyans or fellow Africans, women and women would lie down, and then this Kimenderi would come and drive his car with them. Then automatically it also qualifies him to be a betrayer or hypocrite of fellow Kenyans. Okay, even in this neocolonial setup, Kimenderi changes from the physical smasher or grinder of the emergency days to a physical grinder and a psychological grinder. So formerly he had been totally physical. Now he changes to both physical and psychological grinder. To satisfy his foreign masters and to help in the continued exploitation of the workers and the peasants, he proposes that his class and its overlords, that is the whites, should use the law religion, education, and the mass media to stifle the workers, to discipline the workers' consciousness, and to effectively kill the possibility of their rising against the exploitative order. This is being a betrayer, especially of fellow Kenyans, in one way or the other. It's also inhuman and cunning. It comes out clearly, especially when he plans to work on the psychology of the exploited and showing them that the exploitation is God ordained and unchangeable. He would effectively grind or smash the workers. That's what he says, and the workers' consciousness, and dehumanize them, thereby living up to his type and the meaning of his name. So when you look at this, it is actually very, very funny and ironical if this person is a Kenyan. Now I want us to notice something here very, very important. As students of Devil on the Cross, or as readers of Devil on the Cross, I want us to look at this. Surrounding all the thieves in the cave is biting exploitation. That's what we actually have talked about. Hypocrisy and betrayal, neocolonialism, cunning, greed and materialism, arrogance, and all other qualities that are evil. So when you're explaining character and characterization of these people, of any exploiters in the cave, I want you to look at this particularly. All of them actually show these qualities. What you need to do is to understand what the character does and then refer it directly to these very qualities. You don't have to take a lot of effort, for example, to look at what every character does, or what every character could be. Just have to know that these qualities that we have just outlined in the NB here are all they all qualify to be on these competitors. Okay, then we're going to look at the police, and particularly we're going to bring out people like Gakono. Gakono in Kiswahili means first of all the hand, which is very small. Okay, so mukono is a hand, then this one is Gakono. So this means could be some either small hand or a disabled hand or a withered hand. So if this person is a police commander and is a Gakono, you can just imagine what can happen around him. So he is actually a hypocrite in one way or the other. The fact that he does not side with people who are fighting for the good of all Kenya, but has to arrest people like Wangari who come in to fight for the good of people of Kenya. Okay, he's also very corrupt because he's a gentleman who comes to only benefit by getting a juice, sit and eat, drink with foreign guests, and then has to offer the life of the people of Kenya to suffering. Gakono is also pro-neocolonialism. And why is it like that? The law enforcers serve in favor of the foreigners, and the fact that he's the one representing the law enforcers, we can generally say that is in support of neocolonialism. Okay, through Gakono, we can see the police would gather all forces to protect the cave, which is having people that are exploiting Kenyans, instead of protecting the Africans or the Kenyans. The masses who fight against this kind of exploitation and betrayal are instead arrested, like the student leader, the Muturi, the leader of the workers, and then Wangari. All of them are arrested. So that's what would qualify him to be pro-neocolonialism and also a betrayer of the freedom fighters. Now we need to examine also the 7 European delegates. This is actually a very important area also. The question that would be very important, they will ask you, explain the role of the foreign delegates in the development of characters or the development of themes. Those two questions actually are so common. So let us look at these people. First and foremost, we know that the 7 foreign capitalists are coming from these countries. The 7G or the G7. USA, Japan, Germany, France, Italy, UK, and Canada. That's what we know because it is what is told to us in the novel. I'm trying to look for the page. I'll be able to tell you that. Okay, that's on page 91, paragraph 2. Go there and find that. Okay, the dominance of the USA over the other members is very clear. The seat of this guest from USA, or is actually the leader, is different from the rest. This is what it says. Dash dash was a little higher than the others. On his right sat 3 foreigners, and on his left sat the other 3. So the 7 are seated, but the leader, who is from US, United States, is seated on a higher state. We shall see what this one actually means. So the comparison of the redness of the skin of the delegates to that of the pigs, or that of the scarlet or the scalded person of African descent, and their body or their body fur to Bristol's is the first shocking instance that readers meet, especially in Waringa's dream. For example, in the beginning of the novel, Waringa has a dream about the devil, and in the dream we are told the devil has a skin that is as red as that of a pig. So if this very thing is explained on page 91, we come to see that actually the foreigners are the ones that the narrator refers to as the devil in one way or the other. That is on page 91. We can go there and have it read. But now, when we come back here, you can just ask yourself as a student a question: why USA? Why should it be a leader? And when you look at the current situation in the country, Kenya and all Africa and any other countries, you see that USA is always on top of the rest of the 7G. Currently, I think we are having 8G. So what we mean here is that this begins right from back in Kenya during and after neocolonialism. That these people have always been on top of the leadership of the different countries. Okay, this don't need a lot of explanation. The good thing they are portrayed here, you can go through them and I believe you will benefit. Okay, in addition, the delegates wear suits that are different and designed with the currency of each of the countries of the delegates' origin. These are used to represent the identity of the people, the guests, and where they're coming from. They are also likened to the scouts, the suits of scouts, meaning that they are put in a way that they look unique and different from the rest of the people in the cave. That is very okay. This communicates, however, their collaboration or intended unity to exploit Kenyans and Africa at large. Okay, so in all, when you look at neocolonialism and when you look at exploitation, look at betrayal and look at murder and fairness, all these ones are going to land on these foreign guests. And we can also talk about all the character traits of people that have been competing in the cave. Just like we noted before, these are the same character traits that can be applied on these foreign guests. So as a student, you don't have to meander a lot to look for character traits of these people. Just based on this little information and add on what the other characters that are competing are. Now, we have another character that we have to look at, and that is the savior figure. All of us have been wondering, especially those that are beginning to read the novel, those in the senior 5 that are beginning to read the novel, have been wondering so much, who is this person who comes in to save people, to save Waringa during the time when she's going to crash in a bus? She's saved. then this is the very person who, after he has picked the wallet of Warenga, he doesn't take it. Ironically, we expect that this person should take the wallet, but he doesn't. So this one is actually later in the book known as the student leader of the University of Kenya. So the mysterious figure who finds Jacinta and stops her from killing herself at a racecourse road between St. Peter's Clever's Church and the sewing machine shop at Kaka bus stop is something like a savior figure in which characters build their suspense. At this point, Warenga has lost everything, mentally and psychologically and even physically. She feels the world has ended on her. The figure who comes to know and find out what Warenga is trying to do and why he's doing like that is something we have to look at. So this man later we come to know is a student leader and is the man with a goatee beard. Okay, he's all actually a person who can refer to as a freedom fighter. Okay, readers learn from Ririwam Cry that the fake invitation cards must have been printed by students to ruin the party, and that is true actually, because this savior figure is responsible, as we learn at the end of the book, that is the one who designs these cards just to get the morale of different people to come and fight against this blood circles. Okay, his intention is particularly to free the country from this kind of exploitation and neo-colonialism. Just like Muturi, Wangari and Warenga, the student leader or the savior figure is determined, courageous and focused. The work of distributing the cards, mobilizing the students and at all levels, cooperating with the workers and the rest of the people is not something that is so easy, but he does it with a lot of determination. So any person who is lousy couldn't have done this kind of a job. Okay, that's what we can talk about character and characterization in the novel Devil on the Cross. In case you have any other characters that you feel you can look at, we have looked at most of them. As a student, you have to just go on and look at the rest. For those people that have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, LELL, Learn English Language and Literature, please subscribe so that you don't miss any video that we post here. We're going to look at the next aspect in the next videos, and it's going to be themes and ideas in Devil on the Cross. Stay tuned and please don't miss it.